Bankole Odusanya, Chief Dealer, Polaris Bank Treasury, joins us virtually. Good afternoon, Bankole. It's good to have you on the show.
Good afternoon.
Bankole, we've seen this development going on here with the renewed currency swap agreement between Nigeria and China. How much impact do you see it having on bridging the trade imbalance we have here and also easing dollar demand in the near term?
Yeah, it's going to help improve liquidity in the system in that demand for USD, the demand will be there. We have a liquid market, but a lot of the demand that used to chase on Asian goods right now will be sorted on the Yuan to Naira exchange. It's been in existence for as far back as 2017, but we've seen an expansion of the agreement. And of course, the rates are, I don't have the rates at hand, but we know that in due time we'll get the rates and see the modalities of the agreement that we have. But we have information that Chinese importers, that is, who want to export raw materials away from Nigeria for production, are already considering and holding a lot of Naira, and this would help strengthen the currency. As we speak, we have seen the Naira and the interbank move from about 1,540 to about 1,525 as we speak. There's a likelihood that tomorrow we will close at 1,520 going into the holidays as against next week. But this is the beginning of the end of this quarter. We have another quarter that will highlight most probably a strength to the Naira in the last quarter of 2025.
Okay, so you just talked about that. Can you tell us in detail, maybe to what extent has this deal, the swap, like China, taking Naira now in exchange for, instead of dollars, how does this really help stabilize the Naira? You mentioned that, but is there any real tangible impact that we're seeing that we can hold on to?
Okay, so in 2017, 2018, when we actually kicked off, the volume of exchange weren't much, even though we saw some of our customers move away from demanding dollar outright to getting their trade deals done via the Naira Yuan exchange. This is to be expanded and to be, of course, extended. So that's what we're seeing, and it simply means that there will be reduced pressure on the Naira chasing the dollar. That's just it. It simply means that we are not intermediating with the dollar, simply buying and paying using the yuan. And we're seeing a reverse impact also, the reverse transaction where Chinese factories and companies that seek non-oil exports from Nigeria are also beginning to buy the Naira directly via the same platform that was started from way back 2017, 2018. So basically, it helps to extend an advantage that was there and then to expand further what was agreed on the initial. So basically, it takes off some pressure from the Naira, and then we're even beginning to see some reverse gains. Yeah, and then going into next year, we expect that trade would improve between Nigeria and China. We hear that the Chinese government are considering that from Africa, there will be no tariffs on exports of raw materials to Asia, to China. And this is, one of the largest consumer of African resources. And we think that this is going to help a lot. So that's why some of the Chinese factories are beginning to hold the Naira, because you need to sell some dollars in your holdings to get some Naira to pay for Naira products. Say, most of our arable products, such as seeds, the various seeds that were taken out, the shea butter that has become so much talked about of late. So basically, we think that that window is going to expand and help a lot going into next year.
Definitely. China is in the news, all for the right reasons, we can say, with the marking the Second World War today. It's big events that are there. But looking at this shift from dollar and to yuan taking Naira, how sustainable do you think this is? Because you know that many Nigerian businesses still prefer the US dollar because, it's globally accepted. But what would it take for the yuan, let's say even the Naira, to gain stronger trust in trade?
The impact will be felt more on the non-oil sector, because for the oil, of course, the petrodollar will do more of crude oil and refined products being traded using the dollars. So therefore, we see more of that being retained in the Naira dollar spectrum. But going into the non-oil sector, especially export of crops, and other resources away from Nigeria, a lot of that will be paid through Yuan, and then for services will be exchanging via the same platform, Naira Yuan agreement for those who want to import equipment and finished goods from China. So basically, that's the way it's going to work. We're going to see more impact on the non-oil sector, where demand will shift away from the US dollars and then use of the Naira Yuan window, where, I mean, all banks are on that window. We can provide, once you provide your trade documents on what you want to pay for in China, we can make the Chinese Yuan available to you.
Oh, that's
So, and this is
fantastic.
new. I'm emphasizing that it's not new. It's just an extension of an agreement that had kicked off way back 2017, but this is expanded, and now we're beginning to see Chinese firms wanting to buy Naira because they will be needing Naira Nigerian products exports very soon, given that we'll be paying no tariff to export goods to China.
Well, that's something we'll be looking forward to, a sustained interest in the Naira. Now, beyond bilateral swaps, what longer-term reforms could truly ease dollar pressure and, build more resilient foreign exchange system in Nigeria, in your opinion?
In our opinion, we are beginning to see Naira strengthen against the USD because a lot of money is coming in majorly from FPIs and from a lot of peer-to-peer exchanges that are happening. A lot of firms that do take in money, repatriate funds from diaspora Nigerians. We're seeing a lot of inflows and liquidity, improved liquidity. Every day we're seeing the Naira gain at least nothing less than between 2 to 5 Naira. I mean, we started this August at about 1,540, and we're close to 1,520 now. So, and we see this continuing. Like, there's pressure to sell for those who are holding dollars. They want to sell quickly and get the best value to do their transactions in Nigeria. So basically, we expect this to continue, this stability to continue, and marginal strength of the Naira. We'll probably end the year, I mean, going to possibly 1,500 to the US dollars. But going into next year, 2026, that will be a pre-election year. Towards the end of 2026, that may be a pressure point where a bit of the FPIs who are coming for OMO bills may not roll over all their maturities, so we may see some pressure. But for now, going into last year, in the next 12 months, we foresee stability and the liquid market.
Definitely, stability means there's no uncertainty in the market, and businesses can do their business in peace. And definitely, I'm looking forward to a dirty December. Thank you so much, Bankole Odusanya, Chief Dealer, Polaris Bank, for sharing your insights on Business Incorporated.